Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr.Md.Akmat, Associate Professor of Hepatology at the Awmc Medical College, Dhaka. Welcome to all to our lecture class. Today, our lecture class on liver cirrhosis. Let us begin our class liver cirrhosis. Liver cirrhosis worldwide it is common, but etiologically different from one part of world from other part. So it is important in our community, also important for our examination. How we define liver cirrhosis? Liver cirrhosis actually it is a histological diagnosis, but some investigation by which we detect liver cirrhosis, that is generalized fibrosis and formation of regenerative nodule, it is called liver cirrhosis. You see the two pictures, normal liver and cirrhotic liver. The normal liver, it is shiny and surface is also smooth. But if you see the cirrhotic liver, it is nodular, irregular, and it has a margin that is, it is also irregular. So if you see the cirrhotic liver, we can see like this. How cirrhosis of liver is classified? There are various classification type, but in our clinical interest, we classify it clinically. Many patients in our country with cirrhosis, but we cannot see them. But when they develop some clinical features, we can detect that patient may develop cirrhosis of liver. What are the types of cirrhosis? Clinically, there are two types of cirrhosis: compensated cirrhosis and number two, decompensated cirrhosis. So, what are the signs of decompensation? Number one, if the patient develop jaundice, if the patient has ascites, and if the patient develop hepatic encephalopathy, you can say the patient is decompensated cirrhosis. And sometimes another feature, that is varicose bleeding, another morphological classification, that is micronodular cirrhosis and macronodular cirrhosis. Keep in mind that it is overlapping because micronodular cirrhosis gradually progressing to macronodular cirrhosis. Let us see the pathogenesis of cirrhosis. For the better understanding, we should know it. The stellate cell is in the center of the pathogenesis of cirrhosis. How the stellate cells are activated? Number one, if the stellate cell is activated by some cytokines like interleukin 1, lymphokines, and other cytokines. Number two, if the Kupffer cell is activated and producing some cytokines and activating the stellate cell. And next, if the extracellular matrix is disrupted. And number four, if any toxin such as alcohol, chronic alcohol consumption causing the directly stimulation of stellate cell, and patient may develop cirrhosis of liver. Now, the most important line, that is etiological factor of cirrhosis of liver. We know that worldwide the cirrhotic liver caused by hepatitis B and hepatitis C. So, if you say that worldwide hepatitis B and hepatitis C it is common for cirrhosis of liver, it will be the best answer. So, next is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and alcoholic cirrhosis. Some, if the patient is suffering from biliary cholangitis, that is primary biliary cholangitis and other cholangiopathy, patient may develop biliary cirrhosis. If the patient suffering from cardiac disease, that is long-standing congestion, patient may develop cardiac cirrhosis. And if the patient develop Budd-Chiari syndrome and other veno-occlusive disease, some inherited diseases like hemochromatosis and Wilson's disease, alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, patient may develop cirrhosis of liver. Some rare conditions like cystic fibrosis, galactosemia, tyrosinemia, this causing the cirrhosis of liver. If the cirrhosis is diagnosed but no etiological factors is detected, you can say that it is cryptogenic cirrhosis of liver. What are the clinical features? Very much important for you, that is all patients not coming to us with clinical features. It is silent. If it is compensated, many patients do not complain anything for cirrhosis of liver, but incidentally sometimes detected cirrhosis of liver. And if the patient is coming with some complication, we can say that patient develop cirrhosis of liver. Some non-specific findings or features, that is anorexia, nausea, vomiting, weight loss, fatigue, feverish feeling. These are the non-specific features for cirrhosis of liver. But sometimes patient coming to us with complications and we can detect some features and say that patient has cirrhosis of liver. If the patient come with abdominal swelling or hematemesis or melena, we can suspect that patient may have cirrhosis of liver. Let us see the signs of cirrhosis of liver. Some common features, some uncommon features are seen in case of cirrhosis of liver. Jaundice. We know that jaundice is one of the most important features, which is also a feature of decompensation. If the patient develop hepatic encephalopathy, some features may develop. If we examine the eye, we can see the Kaiser-Fleischer ring. We can see the parotidomegaly. We can smell the odor of the breath of the patient. We can smell mousy odor, that is fetor hepaticus. We can see the gynecomastia. We can examine the axillary hair loss, and if we see the pubic hair loss, we can assess that patient may have cirrhosis of liver. Other features like spider nevi, which is usually seen in the upper part of the chest. If we see the hand of the patient, that is palmar erythema, leukonychia, and dupuytren's contracture, these are the features of cirrhosis of liver. We can examine the abdomen, abdominal swelling caused by a fluid in the abdomen, that is ascites, and splenomegaly. If we examine the liver, it is usually firm and non-tender, nodular. So cirrhotic liver is not tender. But it is important, if the cirrhosis of liver causing tender hepatomegaly, be cautious that patient may develop hepatocellular carcinoma. We can examine the other features in cirrhosis of liver, that is caput medusa. Caput medusa is detected in the umbilicus. Fever. Low-grade fever may be seen in case of cirrhosis of liver, and some hyperpigmentation if the patient is suffering from hemochromatosis. What are the other features? That is, if the patient has thrombocytopenia, we can see the purpura. If we examine the testis, testis is soft, non-tender and is small, that is testicular atrophy. You can see two pictures, that is leukocythia. It is due to hypoalbuminemia and other is palmar erythema. Palmar erythema, central sparing, that is central part of the palm of the hand is white and surrounded by plethoric area. This is a known feature to you. What are the features of liver failure? If the patient develop hepatic encephalopathy, you can examine the flapping tremor. If you smell the fetor hepaticus, if you examine the parotid gland, if you examine the male breast or female breast, you can say that there is liver failure. If you examine the abdomen, that is ascites, it is due to liver failure. If you see the bruising in the body, you can assess that this may be due to liver failure. What are the features of total hypertension? It is important for your examination. That is, you can divide it into two parts. Number one, features of liver failure, features of portal hypertension. What are the features of portal hypertension?
Sir, esophageal varices, caput medusa, sir, hemorrhoids, sir, hypersplenism or splenomegaly and hypersplenism, marked aside.
It is excellent that you can differentiate the features of portal hypertension, you can differentiate the features of liver failure. You can see the engorged vein in the abdomen. It is maybe due to portal hypertension, but you have to examine the direction of the vein, because in case of cirrhosis of liver, this vein direction is same but it is exaggerated. But in case of superior vena cava obstruction, the direction is reversed. You should remember that the engorged vein is due to portal hypertension, normal direction but exaggerated. Okay. How will you evaluate the cirrhosis of liver? There is a long list of investigation, but some investigations are mandatory and commonly done. If you suspect the patient has cirrhosis of liver, first of all, you have to test for viral hepatitis. Among viral hepatitis, hepatitis B is more common, and then hepatitis C. What are the other marker? If you see that a patient may have autoimmune hepatitis, some autoimmune marker, you know that anti-nuclear antibody, anti-smooth muscle antibody, anti-mitochondrial antibody. If you think that it is alcoholic cirrhosis, you can take history, the alcohol consumption for long period of time with AST-ALT ratio is more than 2. If the primary biliary cirrhosis, it is not common, but if you suspect, you have to examine anti-mitochondrial antibody and some other autoimmune marker. If there is Wilson's disease, you examine KF ring, but you have to do urinary copper and serum copper. Sometimes liver biopsy is done. Enzyme test to assess the liver function and enzyme activity, that is ALT, AST and serum bilirubin. But if you want to know the functional status of the liver, you should examine prothrombin time and serum albumin level. X-ray and CT scan, it is not so important, but if you suspect that patient may have some complication like hepatocellular carcinoma, you can test CT scan and you can see the hepatocellular carcinoma present or not. Liver biopsy. Still, it is a gold standard for diagnosis of liver cirrhosis. What are the types of liver biopsy? The most common, it is percutaneous liver biopsy. In some special situation, when it is necessary, transjugular liver biopsy. And another commonly done by surgeon, they see the liver is, they take the specimen from the liver and it is done laparoscopically and is radiologically guided, that is CT guided liver biopsy sometimes is done. Now, very important topic, that is complication of liver cirrhosis. We should know the complications of liver cirrhosis. The most serious one is hepatic encephalopathy. We know the features of hepatic encephalopathy. Next is hepatocellular carcinoma, hepatorenal syndrome, hepatopulmonary syndrome, hepatic hydrothorax, portal hypertension. If the portal hypertension, patient may develop hematemesis or melena from variceal bleeding. And sometimes you can see the caput medusa and ascites, that is complicated liver cirrhosis. What are the emergency situations? When these features are present, it as emergency situation. If the patient develops hepatic encephalopathy, emergency management is necessary. If the patient develops hepatorenal syndrome, it is an emergency feature of liver cirrhosis. Next one is variceal bleeding. Patient may come to you with profuse vomiting of blood as well as black tarry stool. So, if the cirrhotic patient develop these features and manage it on emergency basis. In ascitic patient, they may develop spontaneous bacterial peritonitis, that is, the ascitic fluid is infected. It is an emergency because if this situation is not managed adequately and promptly, patient may develop hepatic encephalopathy, patient may develop hepatorenal syndrome. Both are very serious condition and a significant mortality rate. Then hepatopulmonary syndrome. Now we going for the scoring of the cirrhosis of liver. There are 5 parameters by which child pie scoring is done. That is, 2 clinical parameter and 3 biochemical parameter. Clinical parameter, that is ascites and encephalopathy, and biochemical parameters are serum albumin, serum bilirubin and prothrombin time. This scoring is done for the assessment of survival level as well as to select the candidate for liver transplantation. If you see the albumin level, if it is more than 3.5, it is good. If it is less than 2.8, it is very bad. If he or she is icteric, it is bad or very bad. If the patient develop ascites, it is bad, but if it is compensated, there is no ascites, it is relatively good. If the patient not developed hepatic encephalopathy, it is relatively good. But if the patient develop marked ascites or grade 3 or 4 hepatic encephalopathy, it is a serious condition. If you see the scoring, there are 3 classes, that is A, B and C. C is worst condition and B and C are potential candidate for liver transplantation. So, in the next class, I will discuss about the management of cirrhosis of liver. Thank you all. Thank you for attention for the class.